Chevy has recently released the full packaging and pricing information for the 2025 Blazer EV, and with the next model year comes some interesting updates. Some equipment that was forced as standard but looked optional for 2024 is now truly going to be an optional package. Some equipment that was simply not available to order depending on the trim level that you do choose, such as the panoramic power sunroof, is now going to be available on RS all-wheel drive. And the pricing guide shows the potential availability of Super Cruise being added to the Blazer EV lineup, but unfortunately the order guide simply does not mention it, and there's still no mention of the high performance SS variant of the Blazer EV. So interesting updates for 2025, but without further ado, let's not waste time and get right into it. So first up, I want to start with the deletions for the 2025 model year, and that's just one exterior color. That is the red hot exterior is no longer going to be available to order. So if you want a red hot Blazer EV, highly recommend looking for a leftover 2024 that is currently on your local dealership lot. Now moving into the new features that are newly available for this next model year, we have a black roof option as well as a Summit white roof option, as well as a Midnight/Sport Edition appearance package late availability. Now this will be specific to the LT trim level only, and I will go ahead and insert and put up on the screen what the Midnight and Sport Edition package does include, but it is mainly just going to be a cosmetic wheel and tire appearance package on the outside. Also newly available is a 21-inch machine face aluminum wheel with gray painted pockets, as well as a low door body side decal as an LPO accessory available to order. So interesting changes there, but not many new features. The most interesting changes do come to some of the tweaks in the packaging and features. So moving on to the changes, the 2LT E all-wheel drive is now going to be renamed as a 4LT, likely to add a front-wheel drive or two-wheel drive version of the Blazer EV at a later date. Similarly, the 1RS all-wheel drive is going to be renamed 3RS to make room for a 2RS, which is the rear-wheel drive variant of the Blazer EV. And speaking of that rear-wheel drive RS, that is going to be late availability according to General Motors. So it looks like they might be making some changes and tweaks to maybe the rear-wheel drive variant of the Blazer EV, but that unfortunately is going to be late availability for 2025. Next up, we have the power panoramic sunroof is now going to be available to order as a standalone option on the RS all-wheel drive. Great to see. Not exactly sure why that was limited for 2024 production, but that is now going to be available. We have the dual level charge cord is no longer standard equipment, is now available a separate charge at about $295. Contents of WPN convenience and driver confidence package are now going to be standard equipment on every single Blazer EV. Now some of those equipment items, again, I will have it up on the screen, includes the adaptive cruise control, rear pedestrian alert, bicyclist alert, surround vision camera system, enhanced automatic emergency braking, intersection automatic emergency braking, as well as reverse automatic braking. So those are going to be standard equipment no matter that the Blazer EV that you do order. Then we have the comfort and convenience package is now available to order, is no longer required as a forced option on an LT, for example. So the base LT is now going to be including cloth seating surfaces, manual inside rear view mirror, driver 6-way manual seat adjustment, as well as a 6-way manual passenger seat, urethane steering wheel, and manual liftgate with outside power mirrors that are actually not going to be heated on the base LT Blazer EV. So that former package was forced as an option package if you wanted a 2024 built, but it looks like now it's going to be truly an optional package that you can get in addition to the standard base equipment. So do keep that in mind if you're looking at an LT Blazer EV, that heated outside mirrors are not going to be standard equipment at the entry-level price point. You do have to option that package if you do want that for 2025. Next up, we have the RS Convenience and Driver Confidence package. Now includes heads-up display, heated rear outboard seats, rear digital camera mirror, heated wiper park, and like I just mentioned, is no longer going to be forced optional equipment for production. It is truly going to be an optional package on the RS trim level in specific. I was actually just having this conversation the other day on one of my videos with somebody in the comments, is that they said I should just included it as standard equipment because, it was being built that way. Well, it looks like for 2025, GM has kind of separated the two packages apart, made some of the driver assistance, adaptive cruise control, stuff like that, truly standard equipment, and made some of the other convenience features such as heads-up display, heated second row seats, the digital camera mirror, still as a standalone option package, and also cut the price point of that RS convenience and confidence package down significantly. So great to see those changes for the RS all-wheel drive in specific. We have a RPO code change for the airbags, which is not impact at all. Bose premium audio system is now going to be standard on the RS rear wheel drive, where it was formerly a forced option for 2024. So that is truly going to be now standard with no additional charge. Iridescent pearl tri-coat exterior is now only available to order on one of the RS trim levels, either rear wheel drive or all wheel drive. And then we have Summit white exterior is now only available on the LT. So basically they're separating and differentiating the pearl white and the base standard kind of work truck white between the LT and the RS. So interesting to see that. Now next up, we're gonna get into the pricing information, which I'm sure you guys are most interested about. And with these changes comes some interesting tweaks and pricing. Now, as we know, for 2024, GM initially wrote out the Blazer EV with a fairly high price tag. And, after the stop sale and everything early in, January, February this year, they actually announced an MSRP adjustment as well as a $7,500 bonus cash rebate, which essentially could be applied at the time of purchase from General Motors, not the federal tax credit, on Blazer EVs that were produced before a certain date and did not meet the federal tax credit requirements. Now, as of this moment, all the Blazer EVs do meet those requirements now, but there's still Blazer EVs out there on dealership lots that have a $7,500 rebate from General Motors simply because they were produced for the eligibility and requirements were met. Now, fast forward here for 2025, they are changing some of these packaging and options and stuff like that. And with it does come some minor adjustments to MSRP once again. So I will go ahead and have the 2024 as well as 2025 pricing information up on the screen. But an LT all-wheel drive now starts at $48,995, including destination, and an RS all-wheel drive starts at $54,295, once again including destination. Now both these price points are actually lower than the revised 2024 final pricing, just due to the fact that some of the equipment has now been taken away from those vehicles. Like I said, that were pretty much forced upon for 2024 are now truly optional packages for 2025. So that's why the LT as well as the RS all-wheel drive got just a little bit cheaper. Now looking at some of the optional equipment packages for the next model year, the RS convenience and driver confidence package is now $1,395 because it simply includes less equipment than it did for 2024 because they kind of broke those two driver assistance as well as the comfort and convenience features apart. Then we have the comfort and convenience package for LT with or without WJU, which is the Midnight Sport Edition package, which is late availability. So it'll basically be $2,095 with the Midnight Appearance package or $2,495 without the Midnight Sport Edition, just because there's probably some equipment overlap depending on if you get that appearance package or not. Now, the appearance package, speaking of it with itself, again, depends on if you get the comfort and convenience package. Will be two different price points, either $695 or $895. So really not a huge difference there. We have the dual pane panoramic power sunroof is $1,495 on the RS all-wheel drive. And then the dual level charge cord at $295 that I mentioned here in this video. Now, of course, as you see from my text up on the screen, the one outlier to all of this pricing information is going to be the availability of Super Cruise. Now, I'm not sure if this is a mistake on GM's part or it truly will become available somewhere in the 2025 model year, but Super Cruise is listed as an available option package currently on the pricing guide. Now this comes in at $3,255, which is right in line with some of the other GM vehicles that have an optional Super Cruise package. So it kind of leads me to believe that Super Cruise will be available sometime for the 2025 model year on Blazer EV. But anyways, if you're looking at the most expensive Blazer EV RS all-wheel drive, for example, this is going to come in at roughly the upper $50,000 price point. With the $1,395 plus the panoramic power sunroof plus the dual level charge port plus maybe the iridescent pearl tri-coat, you could be looking at $57,000, $58,000 all in, including destination, which isn't really out of the realm of what an equivalent 2024 would be like, or what some of the competitors do charge. But of course, as you guys have probably seen here on the channel, or if you haven't, I've already spent a ton of time behind the wheel of the 2024 Blazer EV, and I actually, just a few days from now, General Motors will actually be loaning me another 2024 Blazer EV to spend a week with and review here on the channel. And I'll, of course, give you guys my updated thoughts and opinions on what the Blazer EV really has to hold. So make sure you guys subscribe and stay tuned for that video here over the next week or two. But so far, I haven't had really positive experiences and thoughts on the Blazer EV platform in general, just due to the product and the battery architecture, the charging speeds, etc. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that update on the Blazer EV here about next week or in about 10 days from now. But interesting to see that they are still trying to charge, in the upper $50,000 price point for a fully loaded, fully equipped Blazer EV all-wheel drive. Versus that of some of the other competitors out there, which as we've seen are either qualifying for the federal EV tax credit, which this Blazer EV does, or are offering cash on the hood from the manufacturers themselves. So, do keep all that in mind when you're looking for a new EV vehicle, if you're actually considering one out in the marketplace. But overall, that is pretty much going to do it and all the information for the upcoming 2025 Blazer EV. I believe start of production for this vehicle should be relatively soon, within the next coming weeks, if not just a month or two, as they wind down 2024 production. As we know, these are built down in Mexico and are shipped up here in the United States and do qualify for the $7,500 federal tax credit, which now can be applied at the time of purchase. I'm not going to go into that in a little bit more detail, but make sure you guys do your due diligence and do your research on that if you do qualify for the full $7,500 incentive. But overall, let me know what you guys think of the changes and updates to the 2025 Blazer EV down in the comment section below. As always, I appreciate support here on the channel. If you guys enjoyed this video and or found something helpful, make sure to hit that like button. It greatly helps out the channel's videos. Subscribe if you haven't already. And consider becoming a channel member if you guys want to support the channel even further and gain early access to many of my videos here on the channel by a few days, if not more than a week. But let me know your thoughts on the changes and packaging on the 2025 Blazer EV down in the comment section below. And as always, hope to see you guys in the next one.